What is going on, everyone? Today is Saturday, August 24th. We are coming at you live with our first college football stream of the year. We have the week zero college games on the slate today. 4 games, only going to get into 3 of them. Obviously, the big one that everyone wants to talk about, the main one at 12 o'clock noon over there in Ireland, is going to be Florida State taking on Georgia Tech. Florida State, the number 10 team in the country. Obviously, we know they don't have Jordan Travis from last year, the quarterback who kind of led them to that just outside of the college football playoff position they were in. They still have that legitimate defense. They lost guys like Jared Verse and, cornerstones on that defense. But Florida State, they rebuild and reload. I like Florida State in this matchup. I think the over-under at 55.5 is a little bit tempting. I'm going to lean on Florida State to cover the 10.5. I think it might be close and might be by kind of the skin of their teeth. I know earlier on in the week I said I think they could pummel them, but Georgia Tech has a quarterback. I'm blanking on his name that I definitely think he could push the ball downfield. The 55.5 points, I know Mackey said he was leaning on the under. I'm looking more at Florida State scoring anywhere from 28 to say 37. I think I said 37 to 13 earlier in the week. I think this could be like a 34-21. I definitely think Georgia Tech's going to get theirs. I do think it will go under. So if you lean more on that under, I do like that as a play. Especially with them being overseas. I think this game could start slow. We always know what usually my logic whenever the NFL goes over to London, Germany, all these international games, love to take that first half under. The teams usually start slow, close to the vest. They're still kind of trying to get used to the environment, used to the field. In this sense, I don't like it as much in college football because I think these teams are just going to come out gunning. Like I said, Florida State, number 10 team in the country. I look for them to handle business today. I think it could be close, could win this game by 11, 12 points if it gets down to it, and that's why the spread is what it is. But give me Florida State minus the 10.5, and I lean on that under 55.5. The next game, we're going to get into SMU versus Nevada. SMU is pretty loaded this year. They got a lot of key transfers. Nevada on the exact opposite side of this thing. They lost a lot from last year. Nevada, 26.5, 27.5 point favorite here. I do lean on SMU. SMU a 27.5 point favorite here. I lean on SMU to get that job done. 28 points is a huge spread. That's kind of just what you have to get comfortable with betting in these early college football games. I think SMU will handle business. Not too much to say about this one. Don't know too much about Nevada. I think SMU will handle it. I like where the money sits. The split's going both ways. I'm going to take SMU minus the 27.5 here. And then our last game, I guess you could say, of the day, it doesn't start until midnight tonight. Delaware State at Hawaii. Don't actually have anything to bet on this game. It's a 40.5 point spread. It's in Hawaii. The story on this one was Delaware. They missed their flight because their bus from the stadium to the airport was delayed, and it just kind of fucked everything up. So Delaware State, little interesting story going into this one. They only got there, I think it was yesterday. Now they're about to play a game today. Obviously, tonight in our time or in Delaware's time, it's still a midnight game. 40.5 points. I can't lay that with Hawaii. If I'm leaning on this game, I'm going to take Delaware State plus 40.5. Hawaii's never been good enough to be a 40-point underdog over anybody or favored over anybody, but I won't be betting that one. My two college plays of the day for today are Florida State minus the 10.5 and SMU minus the 27.5. Make sure you're staying tuned to our social media. We'll get some official plays out there. As far as college football goes, some might kind of sit back and watch today, might not get any official plays out, especially week zero. Some of these games are weird, want to see how these teams start, especially teams like Florida State and all that. But yeah, make sure you're staying tuned to the social media. We'll get some plays out there for you. We do have 5 MLB games on the slate today. We're going to start with the Astros, Orioles, and then get into the Diamondbacks and Red Sox. Give me 1 second here to get that pulled up, where we have Framber Valdez going up against Suarez for the Orioles. Astros minus 120 on the money line. Orioles plus 100. The over-under at 8.5. I think it was yesterday. Burns pitched for Baltimore, and I forget who was going. Arrighetti for Houston, and Houston won 6-0 as a plus 140 underdog. I just want to fact check that. My app is taking forever to load. Let's see. What was that score yesterday? Did they not play yesterday? Orioles won yesterday 7-5. The day before, the Astros won 6-0. So it must be a 4-game series. I lean on the Astros here in this spot. I like how hot their bats are and their offense continues to go. Give me the Astros minus the 120 on the money line. I definitely like that play. That might be one I'm locking in on the MLB card myself. Like I said, the next one we have Diamondbacks at Red Sox. Aces Red Sox still trying to make a push for that that last playoff spot. Arizona Diamondbacks going with Zach Gallen with Cutter Crawford on the mound for the Red Sox. This is a minus 110 pick them both ways, over under at 9.5. I lean on the Red Sox here. I think they get the win today. I like Crawford on the bump. I think that the Red Sox are going to do enough to just keep themselves in that picture. They lost yesterday. I like them to pick up a win today. I know they're going up against Gallen in this hot Diamondbacks offense. But give me the Boston Red Sox to come out with a win today. I do lean on them in this spot. They're at home. I don't think they lose 2 straight at home, especially with Crawford going today. I like that matchup for the Red Sox. But our next one is going to be Giants at Mariners, another good West Coast kind of matchup, NLAL matchup there, where we get Snell versus George Kirby, a definite probably top pitching matchup of the day. Giants are minus 105 on the money line, Mariners minus 115 with an over under at 6.5 with these two stud pitchers going. I lean on the Giants. I know I've been big on the Mariners and Kirby all year. I think Snell and these Giants are hot right now, and I can't bet against them. So give me these Giants minus the 105. I think they get the win today in Seattle. Snell's been doing more than enough to keep this team in a playoff spot, and that's exactly where the Giants have come. A couple weeks ago when the Pirates were in the picture, the Giants didn't look like they were going to do anything. I thought, we were saying the Giants were out of it. Giants are right back in that picture. I don't know the exact amount of games they're out. Let me get that pulled up. Let's see. They're only 5 games out of a playoff spot, right behind Mackey's Mets, 2.5 games behind them, and then 2.5 games out of a wild card spot. I don't hate this Giants team. I think they get a win today. They lost a tough one last night in extras. I think they bounce back today and get a win there for the San Francisco Giants and Blake Snell. Our next one, Phillies at Royals, and then Mets Padres. So let's see here. So Phillies at Royals, I believe that is one of the night games. Let's see, 7:10. Phillies going with Ranger Suarez, and the Royals going with Brady Singer on the mound. Minus 125 money line for the Phillies and plus 105 for the Orioles. I actually don't have a play on this one. This was just the kind of 2 top teams in the MLB going at it. Wanted to make sure that we touched on this one. I lean on the Royals. I just can't. It's so hard to bet against the Phillies unless there's like insane value. And I'd like to see, when I bet against the Phillies or one of these top teams, I like to get plus 130, plus 135, anything in that range, maybe even obviously higher. But plus 105 for the Royals, I just can't hit it with them going up against Ranger Suarez, who's been one of the best pitchers in baseball this year. I'm going to lean on the Royals. No official play there. And then our last game is Mackey's New York Mets, who are continuing their playoff push at the Padres. Michael King versus David Peterson on the mound out there tonight at 8:40 in San Diego. Padres minus 1.5 is plus 145, minus 155 on the money line, and over under at 7.5 with the Mets at plus 130. Again, I think yesterday was. I'm trying to think, is this a 4-game series? I just want to pull up these scores here. Give me 1 second. I believe it is a 4-game series. Padres won last night. I think the Mets won Thursday. 8-3. So this is a 1-1 series, 4-game series, with tomorrow being obviously the series capper tomorrow night at, I guess it's tomorrow at 4:15. But so 4-game series. I like the I don't know. This is such a tough matchup. I don't love betting on the Padres when that Michael King's on the mound. I do like betting on the Mets when Peterson's on the mound. I'm going to lean on the Mets here. I think that plus 130 on the money line is juicy enough that you get the value there with this hot Mets team that they're going to be in this game. Padres offense has obviously been in a position where they can pop off at any point. I'm going to see here where the money sits on this one. Let's see. Yeah, it's a tough split. There's a lot of money on the Padres, so I mean, as someone's back in the Mets, I definitely appreciate that. No official play on this one. I don't know. You have to make sure and see what we get out on our card. I lean on the Mets at that value, but look again, what I said about the Padres or the Phillies. The Padres are in that same sense. They're the hottest team in baseball right now. It's definitely hard to bet against them, especially at Petco Park. So just make sure you're staying tuned to our social media. We'll get some, if we have any college football plays out, we'll get those out. Like I said, make sure you're staying tuned for the MLB card on our social media. Been doing very good there. Looking to start college football hot. Obviously, like I said, we may not get any official plays out today. With week 0, want to see how these teams start. Want to see how everything goes, and make sure we're going to be on the right side of things. I know it's nice to take a shot, but it's more of an educated guess. I want to make sure we're putting our people and our followers in a good position to win their bets on opening weekend. As far as a lean, we'll kind of recap what I went through. Florida State minus 10.5, SMU minus 27.5, Astros on the money line. Let me see here. Red Sox on the money line, and what was the third baseball game? The Giants, San Francisco Giants. So there's 3 baseball plays. There's 2 college plays. Nothing official. Make sure you're staying tuned for it to get on the cards as an official play. But there's 5 plays just for you to dabble at, look into. A couple underdogs in the world of baseball, 2 heavy favorites in the world of college football. But it's early on in the season. You're going to have to eat some of these big spreads. If you're only taking one, take Florida State minus 10.5. I love that play. We'll definitely try to get that out there. I'll see which way Mackey's leaning on this. But other than that, thanks for listening. We'll try to we'll get another one out one of these out there next week for week 1 of college football. Especially we got some huge games on the slate next weekend. Penn State, West Virginia, Georgia, Texas A&M, all these huge schools going at it as the season kicks off. So we finally made it. Football is back. But like I said, make sure you're staying tuned to the social media. We'll get the plays out. Wouldn't want you to miss anything. Turn on those post notifications. Other than that, thanks for listening, and we will see you guys Thursday for the podcast.